this thing on? It is. I feel like a rock star. But there are some actual real rock stars in the building, including the ladies that we are here to see. So thank you so much for coming to Licorice Pizza. My name is Lyndsey Parker, and this is the first ever live in front of a studio audience episode of Honest AF. So it's going to be especially Honest AF. So yeah, we have some great goodies for you today. If you haven't already gotten your goodie bags, we've got some really cool guests, which the ladies will tell you about more later. And we will be here. There's so many things we're going to talk about. I had to write it down. We will be talking about love, life, beauty, sex, rock and roll, and anything they feel like being honest AF about, of course. And then at the end, please stick around to the end. I know you would anyway, but we're going to have a panel with not just the host, but also with the guests, and we'll take your questions. And this is being live streamed right now, so hi, everyone out there. Woo! It's very exciting. I'm really happy to be here. So I'm going to introduce the real rock goddesses of the evening. I believe we have some theme music as well. So please let me introduce, with great pride, the women of the hour, Gilby Clarke and Barbara Ann Wild. And Mr. Clarke. Oh, I'm in your way. Do I actually get to introduce you? Are we sharing a microphone, rock and roll style?
No, I think that one is yours.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Thank you.
All right. The magic of live.
You got a live intro. There you go.
Yeah, thanks, baby.
Even I could have done the whole mic stand rock thing this whole time. All right. Well, hello, ladies.
Hi. Hello.
How are you?
I'm feeling good. How are you guys feeling?
We're feeling good. We're feeling good. Oh my God, there's a lot of familiar faces in here.
Hey, everybody.
I'm way too short for this still. Hello, the magic of live podcasting. So I'm going to let you guys obviously do your thing in a minute.
Uh-huh.
Does everyone know who these fantastic women are? Shall I properly introduce them? You want their little bios? All right. Gilby Clarke is a fashion visionary and entrepreneur. She's behind one of the most iconic denim brands of all time, Frankie B. A rock wife who literally met Gilby Clarke, who just introduced us on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. You literally met on Hollywood Boulevard. Doesn't get more rock and roll than that. That's a really fun story. I don't know if you want to tell that story, maybe.
I'll tell that story if they want to hear it.
Okay, well, let me finish. Yeah, we'll tell that story in a minute. And yeah, it's been a rock and roll fairy tale ever since. You're still together, obviously, and you are an expert in all things fashion, style, and beauty. And then we have Barbara Ann Wild. It's really interesting. Both of you met your rock husbands when you were literally teenagers.
Babies.
And beat the odds because,
Jailbait.
Honest AF. Marriages that long kind of don't last in general, but in rock and roll, they really don't last. So, yeah, you met your husband when you were literally a teenager as well.
Actually, I was 12 when I met my husband.
Okay.
I was 10. Yeah, no. None of that is true.
We both lied and said we were 18.
And you're a beauty and wellness expert. You got your bag
I'm
of
a
tricks
sex
here.
expert, too. That's my...
A expert?
Yeah.
And you got your bag of tricks. I definitely want to ask you about your bag of tricks. And yeah, you're also living the rock fairy tale, and you're also like an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, a badass. You're a manager. You've worked at A&M Records. You've kind of done it all, and you got a lot to talk about, which is why
we do.
You started this podcast. How did you guys meet? What's the origin story?
Well, we met. It's so weird because we both have been in the same business for
Same circles.
same circle, for a long time. And somehow, some way, we never actually crossed paths. I'd always heard about Barbara Ann through my friend Allison right there.
Yeah, Allison introduced us.
Thank you,
And
Allison.
she kept saying, don't you know Barbara Ann Wild? And I'm like, no, I don't know her. And she's like, you've got to know her. You've got to get to know her. You guys will love each other.
Totally.
She
Allison
was
would-
correct.
Yeah, Allison would say that to me all the time. She's like, "How do you not know Daniela?" And I'm like, "I don't." She's like, "I have to introduce you." And she did. I was doing a shoe line for about 5 minutes, and Allison saw the shoes, and she's like, "You have to give them to Daniela. She will flip." They were total 70s platform, about 6 inches high. And I called Danielle up and I said, "You want to go have lunch? I have a pair of shoes for you." She's like, "I'm there."
That's all you have to say to me, by the way.
It all starts with the shoes.
You want to be my friend? A pair of shoes, and it's all good.
So then, obviously, you were great friends and used to talking honestly about everything and anything in your private lives. But when did you decide to make a podcast out of that? And how and why?
Well, okay, so Barb and I went out to lunch. We became fast friends, like immediately. We just were like yabbing. And it was so weird because the same day that we met,
Yes.
our husbands actually hung out at Sturgis.
Like the motorcycle.
Literally the
motorcycle rally.
same day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really
Really
funny
crazy.
because Zach called her up and goes, "You'll never believe who I just hung out with."
Yeah, and he's like, "Gilby Clarke, he's so sweet." I was like, "Really? Are you joking?" And he said, "No, he's just such a sweetheart. He came to the show." And I said, "I had lunch with his wife today." And Zach's like, "Get the, F out of here." So
It was really funny. But so we became really fast friends, hanging out together all the time. And then the pandemic hit. And when the pandemic hit, I started one day, I was, like everybody else, bored. And I started stalking my text messages with Barb and I and just reading through them. And I noticed that our conversations were hilarious and they were extremely shallow because all we talked about was how to stay young, how to all different types of products, procedures.
Yeah.
And we were just sharing information back and forth. And I thought, wow, this would be a cool conversation to have with other people listening and share the information. Like, how cool would it be to
like
share
a
this
public
actual
service.
information?
We need to share.
Because, girls talk with each other about stuff you can't talk to your guys about. You don't want to talk to guys about certain things. And you also don't talk freely about certain things. So, but you'll talk to each other that way. So I called Barb and I was like, "Barb, what do you think if we started a podcast and just shared all this information that maybe that we're privy to and opened it up to our listeners, and maybe they have products that they recommend for us, and maybe we just have like girl talk and guy talk too, and just talk about things and keep conversations honest and open so that we can all kind of help each other."
Yeah. And Daniela had a friend, producer Lisa. Where are you?
She's right there.
Lisa, who has, lots of experience in broadcasting and she was a comedian, amongst other things. And Lisa came on board and said, "Let's just record you girls and let's see what we can do with this." And, we're here 5.5 years later.
I know, it's crazy.
At Licorice Pizza. And
Yeah.
it went beyond that. I mean, I love the bag of tricks and I love all the beauty talk, but it went way beyond. I don't know what's going
Those chairs always scare me too.
on. But it went way beyond that. I mean, the title of the podcast is like, there's kind of nothing off limits, right? Is there anything off limits when it comes to?
No, we talk about everything. And it's basically, it really is. Barb and I don't ever discuss what we're going to talk about. And
In case you haven't noticed, we're not scripted.
We never discuss it ahead of time. We kind of just walk into the studio and turn on the mics. We have no idea what we're going to talk about. And that's what we wanted. We wanted it to be an open and honest conversation so that our listener could feel like they're part of our gang and just listen in. And then if they have anything that they want to talk about, we always say this, hit us up on our socials. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Are there products you want us to review? Or do you have questions that you want us to discuss? And we try to bring in guests that are experts in their fields to kind of just help out. And really, that's it. It's just, we just want to have these honest and open conversations because, we both are of a certain stature.
Yes.
In our lives. We're both married to guitar players. We're both business women. We're both moms. And so I thought, there's just so much that we all share in common as women. You know, we always are multitasking. We're balancing husbands and careers and our households and our hormones.
Yeah, I love the fact that, you know, you're talking about embracing life after a certain age or at a certain age when there are some stereotypes about what it's like to be over 40 or over 50 and that your life is over. It's not a sexy time. It's not a joyous time. Obviously, it is. I mean, your evidence said that. I think that's really important, actually.
I think it's really, really important because, you know, one of the things, you know, sometimes social media is not so kind. And, you know, we open ourselves up to that. But sometimes I'll post things or whatever, and people are like, you know, really? Should you be wearing a bikini at this point? You know,
that was a fun one.
Yeah, you know,
Feel sorry for the person who asked you that.
Yeah. So, you know, and my thoughts are about that. And, you know, I get asked that a lot, especially being in the fashion industry. People always ask, you know, at what age do you stop wearing, you know, bikinis or revealing clothes? And I'm like, are you kidding me? What do you want me to do? Sit at home and like knit? Well, yeah, I do, but I do knit.
She does knit.
I do knit.
In a bikini. You sit
But
around
I'll knit in a bikini and high heels.
Wearing a bikini.
I mean, really, look at her. Do you think she knits? I find that the most funny thing ever.
She cracks up every time I tell her I knit. But yeah, I mean, I just don't think that there are any rules. And I think that part of like what we've experienced being around our guys all our lives, because we've been with them most of our adult life and some of our childhood, is that I really think that being around musicians for so long has opened our minds up to just be who we are, because I'm definitely influenced by that world. I know you are too.
I grew up with Ozzy Osbourne. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't subscribe to that. I believe that whatever makes you feel good and whatever empowers you and makes you happy, fucking do it. I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. If they don't like it, don't look.
That's
You
right.
know?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Real quick, since you are known for, partially known at least, you have empires, you know, in your own right, but you're known for who your husbands are, and maybe draw some people to the podcast or to this event.
Sure.
Because of that.
Sure.
I know your story of how you met Gilby, and it's a fun one. I'd love you to share it. But I don't know how you met.
Hers is equally fun.
When you were apparently 12 years old.
Yeah, well, actually, we did really meet at first when we were both 12. Zach's a year older than me, so sixth grade, and then later on in eighth grade, Zach had asked me out on a date, and he took me to see the Urban Cowboy movie in our little
My
local,
favorite movie.
It wasn't Zach's because he tried to go up my shirt, and I wouldn't let him. And so he broke up with me the following Monday. And I always thought he was an asshole for that. And then fast forward a couple years later in high school, and we became best friends. I don't remember exactly how we worked our way back to each other, but we became total best friends. And he was dating my sister, and I was dating the bass player in his band. And then Zach told the bass player, "You're not going to be with Barbara Ann anymore because I'm going to marry her." And
How
he
old were
came.
you guys at this point?
I was 16 and he was 17. And then he came over to the house and he's like, do you like Donnie a lot? And I go, well, he's all right. Why? And he's like, because I just broke up with him for you. Because, you know, if you guys started to further your relationship, then I couldn't marry you, and I'm planning on marrying you. And I'm like, marrying you? I don't even like you. And could you stop kissing my sister first, you know? But, yeah, so we've been together since we're kids. We grew up together.
Was that an awkward wedding when your sister...
No, not at all. Actually, Zach and I got married alone in Bora Bora. So there was, other than, seriously, this is the funniest story, and I'll say it quick, but Zach and I got married in Bora Bora after a 2-year Aussie tour, No More Tears. Zach wrote the record, they did the tour, and it was huge, and it was a full 2 years of touring. And we went to Bora Bora to get married, thinking that we're going to be by ourselves because he was around other people for so long. And in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, I kid you not, we're in a boat and we're kind of doing our thing. And I'm hearing, Zach, dude, Zach. And I'm like, no way is this happening. And as this party boat gets closer to us in the lagoon in Bora Bora, Whitfield Crane, at the time from that band Ugly Kid Joe, for some reason decided to go to Bora Bora as well, and he was just on the Aussie tour. And Zach has a T-shirt over him. He's naked, and his T-shirt is like right about here. And I am completely topless. I have nothing on but a bikini bottom. Thank God I had sunglasses and I pretended to be sleeping. And Zach's like, he's like, dude, come hang out with us. Come and jump in the boat. And Zach's like, oh, on my honeymoon, I'm good, you know.
You guys were like Pam and Tommy before Pam and Tommy.
Yeah, kind of got it going on that way, but yeah.
Good story. That's actually a wholesome story.
Yes, it's
very cute.
It's, you know.
Except that his shirt was out to here.
But the origin story of how you met is wholesome.
I'm honest as fuck, what can I say?
And then your story, you literally met Gilby on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah. I was living in South Africa at the time. My dad was American and my mom is South African. And so we were living in South Africa at the time. I was 16 and we were coming to the U.S. for summer break because my parents were divorced. And we were going to spend the summer with my dad. And it was me, my brother, my sister. And my brother was 14 and my sister was 11. And my dad took us down to Hollywood Boulevard. We wanted to see the footprints of the stars. And we wanted to see all that, you know, the famous stuff that you want to go to Hollywood for. And right when we got there, I saw a whole crowd of people standing around. And so I stood and I looked and I was like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, this band's filming their video for MTV.
And it was Candy, by the way.
It was a band called
band
Candy.
I loved. Check them out. Whatever Happened to Fun is a bop.
Well, I'll tell you something else about that in a second. And so I looked over and I stood around in the crowd and kind of watched them film their video. And the first person I saw was Gilby. And he was standing on top of a convertible. And it was on Wilcox and Hollywood Boulevard, right where there's like this mural there of all these Hollywood stars kind of sitting in a theater. And it's still there. 2,000 years later. Yeah, right by Playmates. It shares the wall with Playmates. And Gilby was standing on top of a car with the guitar in his hand, with ripped jeans, fishnet stockings underneath, mind you, tons of eyeliner, hair sticking up in every direction. And I was like, wow, that's it. That's for me right there. And everybody else just kind of melted away. And I only saw him and I stared at him. And I think I stared at him so hard that he stared back because it was like piercing eyes. And so that's how we saw each other. And then my dad was like, come on, let's go. We're going to go get some ice cream. We've been hanging around this set way too long. And I was like, no, I don't want to leave. And we went into an ice cream shop and then someone tapped me on the shoulder while I was ordering ice cream. This cute girl who was the makeup artist, or no, she was the hairdresser on the set. And what I didn't know was she was also his ex-girlfriend. And
I never heard that part of the story.
Yeah. Oh, Barb, there were so many girls there that were all saying they were his girlfriends. And so, yeah. So she tapped me on the shoulder and she said, excuse me, but you were just on the set of the music video? And I said, yeah. And she goes, the guitar player wants to talk to you. Before she could even finish what she was saying, I was all, shoo, out of there. Left my dad, my brother, my sister, everybody in the ice cream shop. I ran out to the set. And she brought me over to Gilby. And the first thing he said to me was, what's your name? And I said, Daniela. And he goes, Daniela, you're very pretty. How old are you? And the lie just flew out. And I just said, I'm 18. Because I knew if I said I was 16, he would never talk to me. So I was like, I'm 18. And he goes, okay. And so we started dating. And we started to date. And the lie just kept perpetuating itself. And then it was time for me to go back to South Africa because the summer was over. And so I didn't want to leave him. And my dad took me, my brother, and my sister to the airport. We said goodbye to my dad. And right as my brother and my sister were as we were supposed to walk through the thoroughfare and get on the plane, I looked at my brother and my sister and I was just like, I'm not going back with you. You guys are going to get on the plane without me.
Could you even imagine your kid?
I'm going to stay with Gilby. And they're
If I
like,
let her do that, I would have a heart attack.
I mean, I would, yeah. And my brother and my sister were like, Mom's going to kill you. And I was like, well, she probably will, but I'm not going home. So I took off with Gilby. And at the time, Gilby was in Candy, and they were touring with Corey Hart and Rick Springfield. They were going with one tour after another.
Wait, and to clarify, so when your mother in South Africa went to pick you guys up, she had sent 3 kids off and only 2 came back on the plane.
That's correct.
And how did she, I mean,
I swear I could have heard her scream all the way from South Africa. She called me. Well, I called my dad and I said, Dad, and he goes, yeah. And I go, I'm still in America. And he goes, what do you mean you're still in America? And I go, I'm still in California. And he goes, what do you mean you're still in California? And I said, I didn't leave. I'm staying with Gilby. And he's like, are you out of your mind? You stayed here? And I said, I stayed. I'm going to stay with Gilby. Gilby and I are going to be together. And he was like, he's a musician, Daniela. He's going to have a girl in every single port. Are you fucking crazy?
They didn't even know about the motorcycles yet.
They had no idea.
And he's about to go on tour with Corey Hart and Rick Springfield.
He was going, yeah. He literally dropped me off at the house and went on tour. And it was really funny too. He was at the time, his management also managed Kiss. And so he put his manager in charge of taking care of me while he was gone on the road.
Is that the sergeant?
No, that wasn't Sergeant Andrew.
Oh, okay.
No. That was Wayne, right, Gilby? Was that Wayne Sharp? Yeah, it was Wayne. Yeah. And Wayne took me bowling with all the guys from Kiss. But it was my son. I was 16 years old, and I went bowling with Gene and Paul and everybody. And
did you win?
No, Gene cheats.
I didn't even know how to bowl.
There's no way he let anybody win.
I didn't even know how to bowl. Gene was showing me how to bowl. I didn't know how to do that.
He just played Newlywed Game against me and Zach, and he's a cheater. He's a big
cheater?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Fun fact about Gene is that fast forward 150 years, and Gilby was on tour with Gene for a Kings of Chaos show, which is like kind of like a little super group. It's Matt Sorum and Gilby, and it was Gene Simmons at the time. It was Sebastian Bach. It was Duff McKagan. I can't remember everybody. I think Slash was there too. Steve Stevens, Billy Duffy. Yes. Where is that AJ screaming Billy Duffy over there?
Hi, AJ. Hi, Scott.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Barb, look at us. We did it.
I mean,
look at us.
Maybe I should make myself scarce and let you ladies do your thing.
Sure.
I mean, congratulations on, like I said, you beat the way you guys met your husbands, and then
kind of crazy.
And how young you were.
Yeah.
And just the fact that marriages don't tend to last, like I said, in general, but in show business and rock and roll, the odds are even worse. And I mean, maybe you can talk. I'll let you decide if that's what you want to talk about. Maybe when the sex therapists come on the service about how marriages last.
Yeah.
They leave a lot.
You might be onto something there, but obviously you guys know. You guys know what you're doing here. You don't need me.
We got this. We got this.
Eventually, you're going to have some other people in the hot seat. Do you want to say after I leave the guests you're going to have on today?
Yeah, we'll talk about all that. We got it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Lyndsey Parker.
I'll be back later to take your guys' questions.
Yes, thank you, Lyndsey.
It's been so much fun. Thank you for letting me be part of your
Thank you for doing it for us. Thank you, Lyndsey.
Thank you so much.
I think I've cleared the way. So, all right. Take it away.
So where was I? Gene Simmons, the funny little story is that we were all at Kings of Chaos show somewhere in South America, and Frankie was getting ready to I'm so used to only looking at you.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. I love what I see. So we're all at dinner one night, and Gene Simmons turns to Gilby and I, and he goes, what's Frankie going to do about college? And we were like, oh, she's actually just starting to apply, and she loves this one college that we went and looked at. She loves it. It's called Pitzer out in Claremont. He goes, oh, well, my kids both went to Pitzer. I'm going to write her letter of recommendation.
So sweet.
And we thought, that is never going to happen. Never going to happen. We just totally let it go. And then Frankie was applying for college, and sure enough, we get this letter from Gene, and he wrote this really sweet letter about Gilby and I and about our family and about Frankie, and he helped get Frankie into college.
No one's more persuasive than Gene Simmons.
You've never read the letter? Well, I have it in your baby book. It's all slipped in there, so you can go in there anytime you want and read it. It's pretty funny.
Uncle Gene.
But yeah, so then years going back to Gilby and I, years went by, and we decided to get married. Gilby proposed, and we decided to get married. And we went down to City Hall to get our marriage license. And at that point, I thought, I need to come clean. I need to tell Gilby how old I really am. And so
you must have lost your mind.
He knew. I think he kind of knew. So I said to him, I said, Gilby, I have something to tell you. And we're standing at City Hall filling out paperwork. And he goes, what? And I said, and he got a little scared for a second there. Like, I think he thought maybe I was pregnant or something weird. And I said, well, I'm actually not 23. And he goes, how old are you? And I go, well, I'm actually 21. I'm 2 years younger than I told you.
You were legal, though.
I was legal.
Okay.
And I said, I was 16 at the time. I wasn't 18 when I met you. And he goes, you know what? I knew something was weird. You never had your ID. You always had some story. There was always some excuse. I should have known. You never. Oh, my God, I knew it. So I came clean, and that was the end of that. And we got married. And then right after we got married, 2 weeks later, he got a call to join Guns N' Roses. And that was a whole other scary situation. But what I wanted to know is how many of you, is anybody here hasn't listened to our podcast? You have not? Okay. And you have not? All right. Well, Lisa, tell them what it's about. So Lisa Goetz over here, when we first started our podcast, we asked Lisa to help produce our podcast and help us get it started because Lisa had worked for years and years in radio. And I knew she would know how to get us started. So producer Lisa.
You need the mic.
Tell them what our podcast is about.
Okay. How do we explain this? The podcast is about Barb bringing up really great products that I end up buying. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Sorry, everybody.
Over the past 5.5 years, buying everything that Barb tells me to buy. Me, meaning us, you, everybody that listens to the show. But I think.
And Zach's buying it all. That's why he's always touring.
Yeah.
See, I need a Zach. I didn't know that Teddy needs to buy me this stuff. But sorry, I just
Popping champagne already? I like it. Good.
But really, here's what the podcast is really about. I know I'm ducking. The podcast is about friendship, first and foremost, I believe. It's a friendship between two women who, as you said at the beginning of the show, share a lot of similarities, right?
100%.
And also coming into this certain time of your life.
Our stature.
Your stature. You're coming into your stature.
Daniela coined it, stature.
Yeah, when you're into your stature.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can relate to the things you're talking about because you are honest AF. And that's really what the show is about. This is no holds barred. It's, just open talk about all those things that you may think about, but maybe you're too afraid to say or you don't talk to your girlfriends about, but they're going to voice it for you. So that's what it's about. And who was the person who said they were never listened before, newer listen? You have to listen. You're going to love it. And then you too.
As long as menopause doesn't make you turn red.
You two are going to be buying whatever Barb tells you to buy.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, ladies.
Well,
Oh, by the way, And I'm so proud of you guys.
Aw, thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
One of the things that's kind of cool that we didn't expect for the men that are sitting here is we thought that our audience was mainly going to be women, but as it turns out, it's 50-50. And the reason being is that we get a lot of messages from men that say, you know what, your podcast has helped us understand our women.
Yeah, we've heard that a lot, especially when men are married to women going through perimenopause and menopause. They're like, I thought she just hated me. I thought we were done. You guys help give me hope. And
yeah, and we talk about all of that. And we also talk about our husbands, and we talk about, being out on the road, and we also talk about what men are going through too. So we touch on everything, I think.
I think we also realize that we kind of are in a club that is unique, that we're both married to rock stars, and we know that people are curious what our lives are about. So we just love sharing. We have a lot of road stories, and we try and get into all of it.
Yeah, we do. So with that being said, is there anything else you guys want us to talk about before we bring on a guest? Where'd you get your belt? You know what, Randy? That belt was given to me by a belt designer back in my Frankie B days. And it was a gift. And everybody always asks me where I got it. But I have a really bad memory, and I don't remember his name, sadly. But it's, who makes belts, who used to make belts like this, exactly like this? And if you can find a vintage one, then it would be rad. But it's Henry Duarte. He made these.
Allison can make belts. Where are you, Allison?
Yeah, Allison.
Allison makes bags and belts and Zach's leather vests and his guitar straps, and you name it, it's in leather. Allison can do it.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I see some familiar faces back there. Craig, Natasha, hi. Gilby, look who it is. It's Craig Duswalt and Natasha. We spent a lot of time with these two on tour during the GNR days. Craig was, were you... Axel. Okay. Well, there you go.
And you're still with us.
Yep. So there you have it. There's family in the house.
He's lived to tell the tale.
Yep. Okay. So is there anything else to bring out our guests? Okay. So our first guest is Dr. Michael Persky. Is he here somewhere?
There he is.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Persky.
Oh, hello.
So happy to have you.
Bet you didn't know all that about your patient, huh?
I had no idea. You told me a funny story backstage that, remember the time that your mom came in?
Yes. So
I had no idea that's why she aged.
no.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to South Africa, 3.
Yeah, she got 2 kids instead of 3. But Dr. Persky is a plastic surgeon, board certified plastic surgeon. Do you have a specialty that I'm not mentioning?
Well, I'm double board certified in facial plastic surgery.
Okay.
And currently, for the last 5 years, I've been doing non-surgical, non-invasive.
Speaking my language.
So
nice.
Anyone who doesn't want the knife, I'm the guy.
Just for the record, Dr. Persky has not taken a knife to my face, but he has taken some needles to my face. Lots and lots of needles. But I started going to Dr. Persky actually when I was really young because I was
15.
I'm going to just be 15 from now on. But when I remember I was turning 30 and I work in the fashion industry, and I was about to do a fashion show, and I was working with a stylist, and I said to him, he goes, "How old are you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm actually turning 30." And he goes, "You know what happens when you turn 30? I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "Bangs or Botox." And I was like, wow, that's kind of forward, but I guess I need Botox because I'm not going to get bangs. So,
Said that?
not you. Not you. You didn't say that. No, it wasn't you. It was a stylist.
That's how she met you.
Yeah. So I somehow, no, you didn't say that. And then,
It's always been gorgeous.
thank you, Dr.
As you
Persky.
are too. I just mean,
Thank you. I can't wait to meet you in your
that's why I
office.
love what I do. I deal with beauty, and it's a pleasure.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're here. So tell us, Dr. Persky, what everybody else here wants to know. What is new and hot on the horizon that we could get to fix us up?
Where's the sex therapist? Because I want to answer your question.
Oh, she's
Savannah?
after you.
I mean, everybody knows it's the salmon sperm facial.
Yep.
Right?
Just
Like-
bought me that.
I sure did. Look at me being on top of things.
Yes.
So
Daniela turned me on to that.
Yeah.
actually, I mean, what's new is, and the big change in the last few years has been
Put your mic up.
bioregenerative medicine. So, in other words, we're trying to make people younger by stimulating their cells from the inside out rather than filling them and making them look puffy. So, there are great products, salmon sperm facial being one of them. There's a product called Sculptra that stimulates the body to make collagen and elastin. So, there's basically what we're trying to do now is stimulate
Less
the body
filler.
from the inside out, make the cells more healthy, and so salmon sperm is, for those of you who don't know, the reason it's used is because the DNA of salmon is 98% the same as human DNA, so it's very
So
compatible.
could you be saving money and just using humans?
Okay, now you sound like Zach.
Not FDA approved, but you can do it.
Wow.
I think that's been tried before, yeah.
Guys, I just saved you guys all a bunch of money. Don't run out and buy the Korean salmon sperm. Just,
Daniela is the female version of my husband.
Guys have been telling girls that their whole lives, right? So the chance of allergy is way down, and basically it's just particles of DNA that get into our cells that help ramp up the cell to become more oxidative and stimulates some magic, and we just start getting that glowy glass K-pop Korean skin. The Koreans are way
And
ahead.
what's the conduit? Do you use microneedling or?
So outside of the U.S., it's injected in 5 or 6 spots, just blop, 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 and it just does its thing.
And where is that?
That's it. That is anywhere outside of the U.S.
why are we always
Our next
behind
trip.
the times? I don't understand that.
Because there's been some
We have
really
FDA.
bad things that have been injected around the world that turn into real bad things on the face where
Okay.
pus is coming out.
So we're basically waiting to see what happens to everybody else around the world before we start doing it.
but I think this one's real safe
Okay.
and great results. So in the U.S., we use microneedling.
Okay.
Make tiny little holes and then rub it in. And it's also can be combined with platelet-rich plasma,
I was
PRP.
just going to ask you about PRFM.
For people who don't want anything unnatural, 100% natural, we draw a tube of blood, we centrifuge it down, we take the serum, it's rich in platelets, and we use that. That can be injected. So for people who have a little something under their eyes that they want filled, we do that.
Okay, I like that.
I love that.
Yeah, because one of the things for me is, as I've been aging,
Excuse me?
I mean, hitting my stature, as that's been going on, I've kind of gotten to a point where and I go through these, I bet you all go through this, is you go through these stages where you're like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to look at this age? I'm never going to look 40 again. I'm never going to look 30 again. I'm never going to look 20 again. I'm lucky if I can look 50. Right now I'm 56 and I'm like, I'm lucky if I look 50. So a lot of times I'll be like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not getting injectables. I'm not going to get any more Botox. I'm not going to get anything done. I'm just going to let it happen
And
naturally.
then I shake her.
And then she slaps me silly and she's like, what's wrong with you?
We are not giving into it without a fight.
There's a lot more to beauty than no wrinkles.
Right.
So the things that are universal. So beauty's different around the world, but there are a few universal things. So lush, full hair, smooth skin without complexion problems. It's nice and full. So those two things you got going already. The rest of beauty, there are a lot of things about beauty, about attitude, about happiness, about confidence, about how you project yourself.
Yeah.
So all those things are beautiful. So you don't need all the other things. And my personal philosophy about beauty and treating patients is no one should know. So nobody should know that you've had anything done. The lips that are too big, all those things. We're animals, and we can tell in a microsecond when somebody's had some. People say, Dr. Persky, you tell when somebody's had something done.
Right.
I said, we all can, and because it's about survival of the species. That's why beauty matters, because we can tell when somebody looks like they've mutated with lips that are like this big. And we can tell when people look like they're fertile and normal.
Yeah.
So so stay normal. Don't get crazy. And
I agree with that. I mean, it's always been my mentality is I always want to just kind of look like myself. I don't want to look different, and I don't want to
look like you too.
And I don't want to look, I don't want to look unnaturally like, pulled or tucked or whatever. I just want to look like myself, but like my best self. And so for me, I really like all the different things like microcurrent facials. I like really good skincare, staying out of the sun as much as I can.
Good girl.
These are my lips. I just overline them. I always have. Those who have known me for years know I do that.
You brought me here today, so now we're in the consult room. So tell me, what is it that I could do? No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
That's really important, though.
My biggest question for you, I was actually going to ask you this because one of the things that's like really trending right now amongst all of my friends, our age group, is everybody's talking about facelifts and the neck lifts and the jowls. And I know some people have had it done and love the results. But I always feel like, my theory is that I think that everybody should do what makes them happy. If that makes you happy, great. If you don't want to do the dicing and slicing, great. Whatever floats your boat is fine. But what do you think is like the good age to start thinking about stuff like that?
Thinking or doing. I mean, people think about it like they come in and they're like 30 or 40. And I think there are so many great non-surgical technologies today that really, unless somebody was really bothered, like they think about it all the time, it's almost like a body dysmorphia, which in that case, you don't want to operate on them. But I mean, I would wait till you're late 50s, 60s, 70s, if you're healthy, late 70s. But I just think facelifts for me, I when I did facelifts, I thought they were, if I only had to do one side, I think that was the greatest operation ever. But it's a tough operation to get right. And I could think I did a great job, and I talked to other facelift surgeons, they did the best job ever, and the patient comes in and a few months later, and I don't like this, I don't like that, I have this, the nerve so there's a lot of things to a facelift. It's a big surgery. I mean, you're taking your face apart and pulling it back and putting it back together. And just recently, there was a surgeon who died having some surgery. So people can die from this surgery.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
So it's not like getting a haircut.
Yeah.
So I would say go as long as you can without surgery, and then have it if you really feel like you have to. A lot of things in the people are talking now about, well, I shouldn't have this done or I shouldn't have that done because it's going to ruin my face for
Sculptra,
facelift.
they were
Like,
saying that a
don't do
lot.
Sculptra, don't do all therapy, which is ultrasound energy. It's going to cause scarring, and people aren't going to be, the surgeon's not going to be able to lift. Well, I mean, I've done surgery a lot over the years on patients who've had Sculptra and Ulthera, and so instead of taking 10 minutes, it takes 15 minutes. We're surgeons. We know what we're doing. We know, and today the facelifts are deep plane facelift.
Right.
So in other words, in the old days, the skin would be lifted from the ear almost to the mouth, and then things would be pulled back. Today, the deep plane, the skin's only lifted about an inch around the ear, and then the surgeon dives down under the muscle and starts pulling things up.
Pulling the muscle.
So it's not a big dissection. So I again, back to your question, I would wait as long as possible.
I think that that's smart because I've also noticed that sometimes people will get it done and it doesn't last that long. Like I think it relaxes a little bit and then they want to do it again, So I think waiting is a good one.
I think one and done.
Yeah.
But
when we're 75.
I've been seeing
I'll
a lot.
push you in when you push me in.
Hey, you know what? I'm hoping that by the time we're up into that stature, there's a lot of more aesthetics that'll keep us from ever having to do it. What are you most excited about in the future, like that we don't know about that you are privy to? Is there anything up and coming that's going to change the game?
Well, I think that there's going to be some cellular, individual-based rejuvenation.
Stem cells,
and
awesome.
Things like that.
What about for men? I know a lot of men worry about hair loss, love handles, things like that.
Okay. So where do you want me to start?
Hair loss.
Hair loss.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see any hair loss in this room.
Not in this room. Yeah.
So hats work. So PRP injections are work.
Mm-hmm.
Hair loss, both men and women. It's a problem, but I think that there's injections and then there's some drugs that people are taking, and we're working on drugs for people with hair loss.
Peptides.
Yeah,
I've been reading about it. It's very exciting.
What about that one drug, the Nutrafol? Is that effective?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for love handles, they're non-surgically. There's melting the fat,
Cool
sculpting, but not without risks where the fat could actually get bigger rather than smaller.
Oh,
1 in 50,000.
Yeah.
And working out. And then there's the fat shot. The fat, that's something that we see a lot in the office. That people are taking the Ozempic shots.
I was going to ask you about the tirzepatide and
So and tissues wasting away, leaving everywhere, including the face. And but the head stays the same size, so it looks a little weird. That's one of those things where you go. Oh,
so basically, the old-fashioned thing: watch what you eat, exercise, and take care of yourself.
Well,
Just be healthy.
I've been taking tirzepatide for a year now, and I definitely have gotten more gaunt in my face. But I like it because now I could actually see my cheekbones because they were hidden under my chubby cheeks. But I can, what do you do if I were to come to you and say, I've had this volume loss, would it be Sculptra or?
Well, I think the microdosing today is really good.
Yeah.
Like take it really slow.
Yes, I microdosed Daniela. I got that look. I saw you making sure I don't take my shot too often.
Well, yeah, I don't want her dwindling away.
No. and increase your protein. So protein and exercise and build muscle as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
There is a good non-surgical device called M-Sculpt that stimulates muscles and builds muscle.
Sharon Osborne was telling me about M-Sculpt.
Yeah, so that's good. And then just, taking it easy. But in terms of what we do for the face, Sculptra is my number one go-to, and it's a foundational Sculptra, which is a little bit different than the way we use it. I put it down deep, under muscle, over bone, to just basically build
under muscle, over bone. Okay.
Build the scaffolding up on the skin.
Is it painful?
And that brings everything up. No, not at all. Why would you think it's painful? It could
Anything to do with the bone, I have a
yeah.
torn rotator cuff and
Yeah.
it's agony.
No, it could be a little spicy, but we have ways of making people comfortable.
Okay. Well, cool. Thank you, Dr. Persky.
Welcome.
And
How
we'll
can
have
everyone
him
here
back.
find you?
Yeah. We'll have him back on the panel afterwards and we can answer questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Persky, I was telling him this really funny story earlier. He didn't know this, but when I was really young and I went to him, I brought my mom with me and I told him to also give my mom Botox. And my mom's like, I don't want Botox. Why do I have to get Botox? And I was like, because I want you to get Botox too. And she goes, well, if it doesn't bother me, why is it bothering you? I'm like, because I'm getting a preview and I don't want it. I look exactly like my mom. So I was like,
She's actually a very beautiful woman.
yeah, she is. She is beautiful. All right. Well, our next guest, this is very interesting because our next guest, I've actually known since she was a little girl because she is friends with my daughter, Frankie. Savannah, she is a sex therapist.
I want to put this here. Hello.
How much do we love her shirt? How cute is that?
Thank you. So this is a weird chair.
I know, they swivel.
Yeah, that one is.
I've been swiveling in the wrong
That's the
direction the
wild
whole
card.
time.
It's fun. I'll just swivel and talk to both of you. This is great. Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. This is awesome.
Thank you for coming. I'm so glad you're here.
Savannah was a guest on our show a while back. If you want to go back and listen to that episode too, because she's
Yeah.
brilliant.
God,
Thank you.
how many people here have been guests on our shows?
Oh gosh.
There's quite a few, right? Yeah. Yeah, you should, Randy. Yeah, it's Cheryl. We have Wasteland Cheryl here from. She owns the Wasteland for all of you that
If you
love
listen to the
Wasteland.
show, Daniela calls her Wasted Cheryl.
I do call her Wasted Cheryl. Well, that's her Instagram handle. So, or did you change it to Wasteland Cheryl?
No, it's Wasted Land, Cheryl, because I accidentally, instead of writing Wasteland Cheryl, wrote
Wasted land.
Oh, well, it makes sense why I call you Wasted Cheryl, even though I've never seen her wasted. Anyways,
I was going to say one thing.
yes.
I have a friend who, like, when she's 50, and so kept saying she was 40, fine, she's 40. I was out. The last thing is, I told her, like, it's better to look like a good 50 than 40.
That's a good one.
Agreed.
40, just tell me if you're fucking 50.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to...
Thank you, Cheryl. That's a good one. I like that.
I agree.
Savannah, thank you for being on the show.
Of course.
It's so funny because, you know, you're friends with Frankie. You grew up with Frankie and now you're our resident sex therapist.
full circle.
I seriously
Teaching
was-
us a thing or two.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, I am winning no Mother of the Year awards anytime soon.
Oh, yes, you are.
Savannah, so for everyone here, I don't know how many people here are married or have been in long-term relationships, but a lot of the questions that we get from our listeners is, how do you keep it spicy after all those years?
Yeah. Absolutely. That is such a good question because all of us experience something sexual at some point, and as we get older, that morphs, that changes. And one of the things that I always talk to people about is you can keep it spicy and it's just going to look different through the years. So I talk to clients about keeping their mind open, and where we want to start is the foundation. So I often encourage my couples and challenge them every single day, hug your partner for 6 seconds.
You hear that, Gilby?
I have an earphone.
You really can.
You can't.
But I encourage everyone, hug for 6 seconds. That's something we kind of forget to do because we're just going through our day. And when you're dating, you want to hug, you want to touch. So I say, hey, can you hug each other for 6 seconds? I talk to people about, this is a challenge, but it's one of my favorite ones. Can you set a timer for 5 minutes and look into each other's eyes? It's a challenge. It is a challenge. It is uncomfortable. But let me tell you, it unlocks something that you may have forgotten because you're sitting there and you're taking your partner in. And it's not about ripping their clothes off, because that can be a lot of pressure sometimes. But instead, it's sitting together and getting to know each other and just appreciating this person. And all of a sudden, that becomes really intimate. That becomes really sexy because someone's seeing me. Someone's taking me in. So I like to talk to people about those. And then let's get to touching, and not touching in terms of like fingers going places or hands or anything like that. We'll get there. But let's hold hands. I challenge people, can you go and blindfold your partner and just touch their leg and let them see how that feels? We're shifting focus away from how we look, especially as we get older. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. He won't find this sexy. He won't find that. Who the fuck cares? I want to get back to, does it feel good? Mm-hmm. If it feels good, then let's do it. And that's the sexy thing, the confidence, the intimacy, the foundation, that's sexy. When we don't have the pressure to immediately perform, but rather be present. Oh my God, that's delicious. Because we don't do that. We don't get to do that. So getting to slow down, all of a sudden, anxiety gets lifted a little bit, body dysmorphia can go away because we're focusing in on, what does the hand on my leg feel like? What does it feel like when my partner takes an ice cube and put it on my cheek or my neck? What does it feel like to have someone whisper in my ear, they love me?
I have misophonia. I'd freak out.
Maybe don't do that one.
Hear him.
One of those.
She's deaf. I have misophonia. I have hyperhearing.
So maybe not that one.
Yeah, no.
But it's really getting back to the foundation. And once we get there, all of a sudden you kind of unlock the sexy stuff. Because then you feel safe, you feel seen, you feel heard. And that's sexy. That's really sexy.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's tough because I think when you've been with somebody for so long, you can easily slip into a routine.
Absolutely.
And also, life just has this way of taking over your life.
Absolutely.
And you're so busy and you don't have time, and you're running around, and you've got dishes in the sink that you're worried about. You've got things at work that are on deadlines that you're worried about. Your kids are sick or something's going on always to distract you. How does it's hard I think it's always a challenge to stay connected.
Yeah.
And to make that time for your partner. And I think one of the things that Barb and I have always talked about is that it's so important to always court your partner, because
absolutely,
the minute you stop courting your partner, you start becoming roommates.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like brother and sister.
Yeah.
And that's not sexy unless you're watching some porns. That can be sexy.
Definitely
people.
not sexy.
Yeah.
But absolutely.
Unless you're watching Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
You always go there.
But it's so easy to go into a routine. And listen, routine is also good. It can be good to schedule out sex. It can be good to have those routine things because, again, that's safety. And yet we can also go, hey, I have 6 seconds in the day for my partner. If I can sit here and think about, this is the person I love, this is the person I'm spending my life with, can I carve out 6 seconds for them to just hug them? Probably.
Yeah.
I can probably do that. And we underestimate how much 6 seconds of a hug or 3 minutes of hand holding. If you're watching TV, instead of sitting on opposite sides of the couch, hold hands, touch feet, do something. Little things like that, you underestimate the fact that that is the sexiness. The other stuff, the wild stuff, that comes along if you want. But we need that foundation, and it's so delicious when you get there because it unlocks so much. But absolutely, it's very easy to become routine, and that's not a bad thing. That's actually cool. That means you found someone you have a rhythm with. That's fantastic. but we can definitely bring some of that stuff in. And it doesn't have to be anxiety provoking or, oh my God, we have to do 7 hours of carved out time for a date. No, you don't have to. You can do this every single day.
Danielle and I once we were talking about Sting and his tantric yoga sex. And I said, I think he had sex for like 6 hours or something. And Daniela goes, oh my God, that sounds awful.
I think it was like they had like they held the record for like 24 hours or something like insane. And yeah,
that too.
That doesn't sound good.
That sounds like a lot of.
I hope Zach's watching. It's one of the things he always repeats about you. That sounds terrible.
Okay. Do you have any questions for
what is
Savannah?
so you're a couples therapist primarily, sex therapist.
Yeah, marriage, family therapy, and sex therapy.
What is one of the most prevalent problems that people come to you with?
That's a great question. There are a number of them. It boils down to 9 times out of 10, perhaps even 10 times out of 10, it boils down to the communication. People stop communicating. We assume that if we have this partner for even a couple months, they'll know what I like, what I'm feeling, when I want it, when I don't want it. No one else is in our brain. No one else is in our bodies. We cannot assume, even if our partner has known us since we were 12, since we were 16/18, whatever it is, they will never necessarily know 100%. So I say, communicate, over communicate. If you have a fantasy, talk about it. Mm-hmm. If you feel sexy in an outfit, share that with your partner. Hey, I feel sexy right now. Let them know. If you think your partner feels good, damn, babe, you look so cute. If you had a sexy dream about them, let them know. If you, whatever it is, if they grazed your arm or your back and it felt good, let them know, hey, that felt really nice. Mm-hmm. When we start communicating, it opens that door so that we know we can be intimate with each other. We can engage in these things. There's not going to be pressure. There's not going to be, discomfort. Mm-hmm. But instead, it can be an open dialogue, an open experience. And that's when it starts to become a little bit easier of, it doesn't have to be this pressure-filled, jump into bed and wild thing. It can be an everyday experience that all of a sudden we're feeling better and better and closer and more intimate and sexier. And it becomes just a natural process. Absolutely, like continuing to court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's really smart because even though Gilby and I have been together for way too long to mention, he always says to me, like, if you want me to do something or you want me to know something, tell me. I'm not psychic. No. Communicate with me. And I think that that's really true because you do assume when you've been with someone for a long time that they should just know. Yeah. But they don't.
And there are certain things that they will anticipate. Listen, there are certain things that they'll know better than you do.
Yeah, for sure.
Over communicate. There's no harm unless you're communicating something hurtful. There's no harm in communicating. Mm-hmm. That's just going to let someone know where you're at so that they can meet you, or they can say, I can't meet you there. And then you can change your expectations. Mm. Mm. If you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Savannah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Savannah.
Stay right here. Okay. I'm going to bring Dr. Persky back. And then maybe we'll
give him my mic.
Yeah, if we have questions for him, we'll hand them the mic.
Hello
again. So
I know this.
Be careful.
I've been just swinging.
I know this one was it's like paddle.
It's a good ab workout.
So if anybody has any questions for anybody up here, let us know. And Lyndsey, do you want to take a mic to whoever has a question so that it gets?
That was a great comment you made about 40. So young. I see young patients come in, and they might be 20, 25, and they look like they're 40 because they went to the same doctor who made the 50-year-old look like they're 40, and they get the same treatment.
Wow.
So, yeah.
The doctor I went to in Santa Monica, I won't tell what her name is. She's so beautiful. She's so gorgeous. She came up to me and to do injections. And I was just like,
They're so nice, it's gorgeous. And I thought she was like 40. I'm like, oh my God, you look amazing. I'm like, how old are you? And she's like, I'm like 28. I was like, what? And I'm like, you're 28, but you want to look at your 40. You're the doctor that does. Right. I'm like, I'm not going to.
It's like getting your hair done by someone that has really bad hair.
And look at how people look in the offices when you go, if you decide you're going to do
Oh,
something.
yeah. That's true, too. That's very true. Does anybody have any questions for anyone up here? Everyone's shy. Are we shy?
I have questions if no one else does.
I'm going to ask a question that I might get hated for asking this one, but I think it's true for girls as much as it is for guys. I know people like pizza or Chinese food or whatever, Thai food, whatever. You don't want to eat the same thing every day, day in and day out. How do you get past that when you get into a serious relationship and you don't want to destroy it because you care about that person, but you don't want to, forgive the pun, but you don't want to eat the same thing every day?
No, I totally get that. And I love that you use that pun because...
Could you repeat it just so that we...
Yes. So he was asking, if you like to eat the same thing, you like Thai food, you like pizza, you don't want to eat it every day. It's good, you like it, you still don't want it every day. Absolutely. And what I say for that, and I use the same pun actually, we create a menu of options when it comes to intimacy. When I work with my clients, I say, we're going to create a full menu of options for yourself and for your couple. So absolutely, when you go to a restaurant, you're hungry, but you don't know what you want. You might want the same thing, you might not. Same thing with intimacy. We talk about what are some of the foreplay things. We talk about 5 or 10 things that you would like. So we know that there are options. We talk about intercourse. What are the things you like? We also talk about different outer course, the touching. And I, with my clients, will create a full menu of options, so to speak, so that hey, there's a range of things that we like, but we can pick and choose and kind of create something that's fun for us, that we know we like all these things, but it's not a routine.
But I think he wants to go to a different restaurant.
And if you want to go to a different restaurant, that's true. If you want to go to a different restaurant, say it. Bring it up, because you'll never, who knows, maybe she'll want to go to the same restaurant. You never know. So you just have to bring it up. Talk about it. You never know.
Reservations right now.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely.
Order takeout. Whoa, Lisa.
Are you asking, though, because we've been together so long, so are you kind of saying, like, how do you make it work when you're with someone for a really long time?
No, that wasn't the only reason. That also, before you get in, if you really care about somebody, but you can, just like Usher says, you want a lady on the street but a freak in the bed, okay? You care about somebody, somebody that's really sweet and what I call puppy fluffy, very, not trampy or anything.
Totally.
You like that person. But you don't, even sometimes you want pizza, but you want pizza from a different restaurant.
See? I had him pegged.
You did.
Yeah, say it.
Come to Licorice Pizza.
You know what? Don't get married.
Sometimes the business.
Keep dating.
Or you could have a partner that's into cosplay and you could be with someone different every night. I have lots of
That's
different
true.
wigs. I have lots of different outfits.
Very true.
True.
I can be business Barbie. I'm
Yeah.
secretary Barbie. I can be porn star Barbie. I've been all
Absolutely.
kinds of Barbies.
Zach
Absolutely.
Wild is a very happy man.
And he's gone a lot.
Yeah, missing each other.
I had asked when I was out here earlier, since we're on the subject of making marriages last, I guess you weren't joking when you're like being gone a lot. I mean, for some people that would be a strain, whether it's touring musicians or military couples or whatever, but how does that work for you guys?
Well, I think for Danielle and I, it's all we know.
Yeah.
Because we were babies when we got together. So I would not know what to do with a husband that came home every night at 6:00. That would be really hard for me. And a change of environment, like maybe you don't necessarily need to go and have a different meal, but you might have a different restaurant. So being in hotels and different locales and places, it completely changes the dynamic sometimes.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that my life is never boring and never routine. And that I get with my husband who's away all the time. So
Yeah. And it's the exact same thing for me. I mean, we're very lucky in the sense that we get to experience so much with our guys, and we get to travel a lot with them. They're gone a lot. And right when we miss them, we get to go see them. So, and that's always really fun. And sometimes right when we're like getting on each other's nerves, they're like, oh, I'm going on tour. So, and my girlfriends are all cheering because they love it when Gilby goes on tour because I hang out with them all the time.
we get to go for Chinese food.
Yeah. But I think that really that is definitely one of the perks, is it keeps things very exciting for us, because we're lucky in that sense that we do get to travel a lot with them, and I think where a lot of couples don't get to do that and they settle into like mundane lifestyles, that's when it becomes, people start getting at each other or getting bored with each other, and we don't really have that.
No.
You get to miss your partner, which is really important.
Yeah. And vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when he's home and he just wants to hang out with the kids and the dogs and do those regular things, it's really pleasant too, because we don't get to do it all the time.
Yeah. So. And I don't know about you, but when Gilby comes home, like the first thing he does is he assesses the house. He like takes inventory and he's like, ooh, that plant over there needs water. That light bulb burned out.
Does that too.
Let me change that smoke alarm. It's beeping. So I think like because they're gone a lot, when they come back, they like to be like more like domestic.
They want to see who's been sleeping in their bed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely crocodile.
For you two, I guess what you were just talking about made me think of it. When your guys come home from a long tour, do they get like a little down or depressed for a few days afterwards, or is that just like me?
No, it's so true. They do. And it's funny because it works for Gilby and I. It works both ways. When he comes home from being on the road for a while, we have like a period of a couple days where we have to warm back up to each other, because like I feel like, oh, he's invading my space now. And also he's kind of a little down from coming off the road. And I'm like, can you take the trash out? Can you fix this? Can you go pick that up? And, take the dog for a walk. So I think there's definitely, that duality that happens. And it takes us a minute to kind of readjust to each other again.
I think for Zach and I, it's the opposite, where when he leaves, I'm expecting right away for him to like be missing home, and he's in his thing. And it's not for like a good 2 weeks that he just starts to get really homesick. And, we'll say, I can't wait till you come out, or I can go home, or, he'll give me his phone when I see him and he'll say, okay, when can we go here to our other house in Oregon or something? Because he's like touring, maybe, I don't know, last year he did 300 shows. So, in a year's time, because he's juggling 3 different bands. But I think that our adjustment is when he first leaves. When he's home, he's kind of does his thing, and he does his thing in one end of the house, and I do my thing on the other end of the house, and it's not really a kind of an adjustment thing. But definitely when he's gone for a little bit, it is a weird, because I'm used to him doing certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. What about, I've heard from performers who are in front of a lot of eyes that there's so much energy coming at them on stage that they're absorbing so much energy. Do you pick that up when they come back? And
yeah, I think it's maybe probably a big adjustment for them. Gilby, I don't know where he went, but
he's probably afraid we were going to start talking about menopause. He probably ducked out.
Yeah, right. No, I definitely think my husband in particular is a completely different person at home than when he's in front of an audience. Mm-hmm. I say this about Frankie too, because Frankie is a completely different person on stage than she is in her regular life. I always say to her, do you have a name for that other person that I'm witnessing on stage? But Zach is very much like that, where when he's home, people are shocked when they're at the house. He's super quiet. He retreats into his own little area. He's writing. He's in his own head. my husband is really like when he's in front of a camera or in people, he is on. When he's home, he is not at all. And it's surprising to people.
Yeah, Gilby the same. When Gilby gets home from the road, all he wants to do is ride his motorcycle. He literally comes home and he's in the garage tinkering around on his motorcycles and riding. So when he gets home, that's his thing. So
I have a question, if you don't mind, for the doctor. I was curious about anti-aging and testosterone. A lot of women are getting testosterone injections, and I'm just a little curious about that.
I don't know a lot about that. I'm always a little skeptical about supplements and hormones. And I think that if you're going down the hormone replacement track, make sure that you're with a really, really good physician who's following you, because things can get out of whack. But I don't know a lot about that.
The specialty would be an anti-aging doctor, or would it be a primary doctor?
I think a combination of somebody who does anti-aging and is a very good physician. But make sure you're followed, your labs are followed.
I mean, I think you should, if I may say, because with me, what I do when I'm feeling like I'm really tired or run down, especially if like your sex drive's out the window, I would go in and ask for a hormone panel, and especially ask to check your testosterone levels.
I would agree. Yeah. It's very important to just know that in general and absolutely have it followed. But a hormone panel can be so informative and really give us a lot of insight that we didn't even realize. It's great to just know your body.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I think it's same for men too. I know Joe, like,
Oh, yeah.
couldn't figure out.
Men go through menopause. Menopause is actually real. It is a real thing.
It is a real thing.
Yeah.
What age did that start?
It's around the same age as for women. So where everyone's kind of hitting it at the same time, and men just aren't realizing that they're also going through it. So it gets thrown a lot at women. Menopause, it's a funny name, but it is a real thing. Men's hormones are also changing around that same age, and they're becoming different people as well. So absolutely, this is a man and woman thing.
And the thing I was saying is, like, it wasn't about sexual dysfunction, because everyone thinks of testosterone for men as sexual. He wasn't sexually dysfunctional at all. He was just getting depressed. Like, he was getting let down, and he went and he had the hormones like, well, your testosterone's really low, and he just did a cream once a morning, in the morning. And so I'm just saying, testosterone in men, you think it's about function, but it's, they need it. For me, it's great.
I just love that.
No, I mean my testosterone.
I just love that we're talking about this. You have an episode, It Must Be Menopause, because it's really recent that, this was like, there was a stigma. It was an elephant in the room. You did not talk about it. Even doctors didn't seem to know much about menopause or menopause. Like, no one talked about it. And now there's your podcast and this event. But in general, like, now people are talking about it like any other medical thing. It's not like a shameful thing anymore. Maybe it is a little bit, but that's changing.
Well, I don't think I think what's more shameful is that when women weren't feeling good and were starting to get blue, they were given antidepressants, and they were being thrown meds rather than being talked to about what's going on with them. And so that's why that is a huge reason of why Barb and I started this, is because it started to make me angry. My sister is like not feeling good, and her joints are hurting her, and she's having all these tests done, but they're not testing her for menopause or perimenopause. And they're not talking to her about it. They're just throwing her, here, take some Prozac, take some, Xanax, take this, take that. And I said to my sister, I go, you're going through menopause. Mm-hmm. You need HRTs. If you're having symptoms, listen, if you're not having symptoms, if you don't have hot flashes, if you're not having joint pain, if your sex drive is fine, if you're not blue, you probably don't have menopausal symptoms, and you're fine to not be on HRTs. But if you are suffering, there's no reason to suffer.
But there are doctors that won't prescribe it. I have friends who have
Change
to go
doctors.
to several
Yeah.
doctors to
Change
get one that would
doctors.
do it. And I don't even understand why that would be the case.
Yeah.
But it's only
because it's very recent that doctors have even been receiving information about it. A lot of doctors are not even trained on it. And
Even
it's
gynecologists.
yeah. No, even gynecologists. That's true. So it's only recent that now that people are starting to talk about it, and it's coming out that there is help, and we don't have to suffer. We are the last generation that needs to suffer and that needs to not talk about it anymore. Yeah. You just need a mic, Cheryl.
Cheryl, do you want to come up? Take them up?
Well, we want to be able to hear your questions.
Okay. What I was gonna say is, like Halle Berry and
Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts are really doing such an amazing thing.
Yeah.
This menopause thing. And one thing that happens when you go through menopause is becomes like broken glass basically. And nobody like, what the hell is going on? And you don't know, and you just think you're not working anymore. So anyway, I just wanted to say that they have this thing called Joy Lux. If you look up Halle Berry, and it's like it's a red light therapy for your vajayjay. And who would have thought like that's a thing? But now that there's women of our age, we always say we're women of a certain age, right? These girls taught me, statures now. Okay. So it's like stuff like that. And you're like, oh, this is weird. And it kind of looks like a dildo. And you're like, well, this is weird. But,
It's like a red light.
It's a red light
It's an
insertable thing.
Yeah. Is it for like vaginal rejuvenation or
for
something?
vaginal, because
It's
it's
one
like
of the first products that I did on Barb's back.
Yeah.
I was gonna talk to you about that.
That was
The Joy Lux.
The Joy Lux.
Was it Joy Lux or was it the other little thing? The one that has the app. The app.
It's the Joy. I've done a couple of them, but
Yeah,
Joy
there's-
Lux.
Yeah.
That's a thing when you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's not working anymore.
Well, it's the one that helps your pelvic floor to stay tight. And,
Yeah. Kegels are fantastic. Keep doing them.
Yeah.
There's a chair.
Yeah, the chair.
There's a chair called Amsella that emits radio frequency energy or electromagnetic energy that stimulates the nerve and causes the 100% of the muscle to contract. So it's like doing, they say, 12,000 Kegels.
And it's really great for women that are suffering with
We're going furniture
incontinence.
shopping.
Yeah, if you're
that
suffering
chair.
with any kind of incontinence as well, that chair I heard is really, really good.
And when we got that chair, it was a really hard transition to say, I'm going to do some Botox. And by the way,
Sit on the chair.
Come on, sit down.
We need those to tape our show. Our new chairs,
We can
Jake.
do our Kegels while we're taping our show. No.
No one will know.
Wow, this is
We all know where my mind always is.
massive TMI.
No such thing.
Absolutely not.
No. Anything else? Any other questions for anybody?
there is a side effect of the chair, increased sexual health.
Here to this chair.
Andrea.
So quick question for the doctor about collagen, because I'm turning 59 in 2 months and I'm losing so much collagen. And I know there's a salmon thing you were talking about. Are there any other things we can do, like supplements or anything else you recommend?
Well,
I mean,
again,
daily basics, I don't know.
a very healthy diet and seeing a nutritionist for that, which is beyond my expertise. But in terms, what part of the body are you concerned with?
Face, really.
Yeah, so for the face, the things we talked about earlier are all great things. And people will say, well, I'm 60 or I'm 70 or I'm 70. I'm not going to make you're not going to make collagen like you did when you were 20 or 25, but it works. You just have to stick with it. You might have to do it a few more times, but it works.
What about the oral collagen? I think she's talking about like the creamer and
The peptides,
The peptides.
which I'm obsessed with.
Yeah. So
And
again,
I keep getting told they don't work, but
Yeah.
I use them
Dr.
anyway.
Murad today always says it's great because it
Yeah.
hydrates you, and if it makes you feel good, then
right. And as long as they're not throwing, like I just heard somebody say they do a supplement for men to make them feel more vigorous, and the guy just takes a little bit of Viagra and throws it in to make them feel like it's really working. So supplements you always have to be careful about. And for me, if the supplements are it's like chicken soup. As long as it doesn't have bad stuff in it, it can't hurt you. And if it makes you feel better, great. But in terms of taking the stomach acid is really powerful. And so anybody who's taking collagen to think that they're getting collagen into their system, they're fooling themselves. But peptides, I think, do get absorbed and can work.
Thank you.
You can always just, as a young girl passes, just like breathe in her. Be like suck the air out of her. Be like the evil.
Sounds
queen.
like a horror movie.
It's like that Demi Moore movie. Yeah, the substance. Yeah.
What are your two go-to products? Or you can say more than one, but what are your go-to products for anti-aging or whatever? What's in your bag of tricks that you always have in your bag of tricks?
In my bag of tricks is always, always, always NARS highlighting stick, Copacabana. I feel like you have to have light in your face because.
But you should share about your aloe products.
I will. That's a good one. But I love a highlighter stick that I never leave home without a highlighter stick. What Barb is talking about is actually incredible. And I think I've mentioned it to you before, Andrea. But there's a company called Alloy, and it is it's doctors that have created this, and it is a line of facial cream that has estradiol in it. So it has estrogen in it because what they have, they give you estrogen cream for your vagina to keep your vagina
rejuvenated,
plump, juicy, whatever you want to say.
Yeah. I was hoping you weren't going to use those words.
So estrogen cream for your vagina, they found out, is actually really good for your face too. So these doctors who are female doctors created this line of cosmetic creams for your face, an eye cream and a face cream. And I use it every day.
It's a prescription.
It's a prescription. You go online and you meet with the doctor and you fill out a questionnaire and then they prescribe it to you. They send it to a compounding pharmacy and they deliver it to your house. It's not even that expensive. It's like $220 and it lasts you for 3 months. Way cheaper than any other like expensive face cream that just sits topically and does not do anything for you. Yeah. And it replaces all your other face creams, your eye creams. You don't need any of that crap anymore because you're putting estrogen on your face, and you just put it on in the morning before you put on your makeup. And if you want to still put a serum on, you can do it afterwards. And then
also
at
has
night,
Retin-A too.
At night, they give you a retinoid cream. So you put that on at night when you're going to sleep, and that helps to like erase fine lines and wrinkles and even your skin out so that in the morning when you wake up, you put on the estradiol cream.
But if you have a prescription for the actual cream, like from your gynecologist for your vagina, like some women put that on their face. Is that like
some do?
Okay?
They can put it on
Is
their
that
neck
safe?
and their face. I think it's safe because it stays localized. It doesn't go into the bloodstream. But the alloy, what I like about it is it's specifically formulated for your face.
Well,
so it
I
has
also-
other benefits in it. It has ceramides and things like that.
I heard the doctors from My Alloy did a roundtable, and I watched it, and they were saying that you could use the cream that's prescribed for your vagina, but it's like 10 times stronger than what you need for your face. So they developed something that just uses the amount that you need for your face. You don't need the heavy guns for your face.
Yeah.
So basically, and then the Retin-A, which is still probably the only proven topical that really works. And for me, I know most of you who know me know I'm a broken record when it comes to sunscreen.
Sunblock.
Sunscreen. I've been using it since I'm 15 years old. Everywhere that's visible to the sun, whether it's cloudy or not. And there is no reason to even try and do anything for your skin if you are not wearing sunscreen every single day.
Yeah. But you know what? I will tell you this much. I've done a lot of research for everybody here. I was using My Alloy I used it for the full 3 months that they gave it to me. I loved the results. And then I thought, I'm going to stop using it and see what happens. Was not pretty. I went right back on it. So it's one of those things that you have to stick with, but it really works. I feel a huge difference in my skin and the texture of my skin and the way my skin looks, the bounciness of it. It's the estradiol. So, yeah.
Fortunately, I'm not a candidate for it because it can exacerbate melasma if you have melasma.
Mm-hmm.
So any hormones can. So I use everything with stem cells or peptides or ceramides instead. I can use any different brand, but number one is sunscreen. Sorry.
You know what else is really good? Another product that not a lot of people talk about that is excellent. As we hit the certain stature, not only does the skin on your face change, but the skin on your body changes, right, ladies? So you start to get the crepey skin everywhere, and you can't put enough moisturizer on. You put moisturizer on when you get out of the shower in the morning, and by nighttime you're dry again. Well, somebody turned me onto this a while ago. Is a makeup artist turned me onto this, and it is phenomenal. It's hyaluronic acid serum. And you can buy it. It's cheap. You buy it online. You can buy it on Amazon. It's just a clear bottle. It's unscented. It's hyaluronic acid. Put it all over your body when you get out of the shower. It helps lock in the moisture and then moisturize. And you'll stay moisturized a lot longer. I find that my skin feels a lot more supple and a lot tighter.
I also recommend bangs. No, it's okay. I also recommend bangs. You said Botox or bangs. Why not get both? I've had bangs for a long time.
Bangs for me don't suit me, but
bangs look really nice on you. But I have my BFF Randy there, who I call if I feel like cutting bangs. It's not a good look for me.
Not for me either. It's not my thing. But
they are great.
Yeah, I've always had. Yeah, me too.
Anyone else? Okay. Well.
Wait, I have one more question for you.
Yes.
We'll end this with this. Since you are a denim revolutionary, we've had conversations offline about this. The great jeans debate going on, that's very generational. You obviously were the pioneer of that low-rise look that is coming back, that kind of like Y2K low-rise look. I will be buried in my skinny jeans. I do not care if they are out of style. How do women feel about jeans? And the Gen Z, they're wearing very baggy jeans, and then there's mom jeans. And I think you should just wear jeans that you like, that suit your body and your style. But where do you rest on the great jean debate?
Well, okay. I get asked that all the time. And my answer is always the same as how I feel about the way I dress. Whatever makes you feel good. If whatever flatters you most, whatever you feel most confident in, wear it. I don't really care. I think that fashion is cyclical, and things come around and they go out of style, they come back, they go out. I have my days where I wear my really low-rise jeans with my stomach hanging out. I don't care. And I have my days where I like my skinnies because I want to wear boots. I have days where I wear mom jeans. I have days where I wear high-waisted jeans. It just doesn't matter. It just whatever I feel like in that moment, and whatever makes me feel confident, makes me feel like me. I don't care. Do you? Yep. Okay. Well, since my voice is starting to give out, I want to thank our guests. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you
for being here and taking the time.
Thank you.
Can't wait to come visit you in your office.
And if anybody wants to find you guys, how can they?
Best way to find me would be on Instagram at Human Pain Pill, or I have cards. I have cards. If anyone wants one, I can give you a card that has all of my information, and feel free to contact me with any questions, or if you want to set up an appointment or anything like that, I'm here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And you, Dr. Persky?
My website's drpersky at drpersky.com, and you can contact me there. And my lovely social media manager and patient relations person. There she is Stephanie. And, is there something else I should, because I'm of that generation, that stature. Instagram. And
what is it?
I'm a doctor at Dr. Michael Persky, MD.
Okay.
There you go.
Awesome.
Dr. Michael Persky, MD.
Thanks for coming up here and
and thank you everybody for coming. It's so nice to get to see all your faces here, and I appreciate you guys all being here. And if you guys want to hang out and
If you
Chit chat
guys
with us.
filled out a card to win one of Allison's incredible
yeah,
bags,
let's do our drawing.
we need to do the
Frankie,
drawing.
can you bring Allison's bag out?
Nobody did it yet.
No? Oh, no.
I'm sorry, too many people are talking. I can't hear you.
Oh.
I know, but I want to pick a number, a name. Oh, so no one's filled it out yet? So can you bring me your bag so I can show everybody what we're raffling? That's what I was asking.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody needs to get a ticket and write their names on it. Can I? Allison, who not only introduced Barb and I, she is a handbag designer.
That's so stunning.
And this gorgeous bag is up for raffle. So make sure to get a ticket.
We need you guys to fill out your names on the tickets.
At this bag.
Okay. Make sure to fill
soft.
out the tickets, and somebody's going to win this bag. Can I fill
really
out the
is.
ticket?
Why not?
We want that bag, Allison.
Look at how cute it is. It's all lined.
Ooh, it's lined in red.
It's lined in red.
Ooh.
So cute.
So basically, find Frankie, and you'll fill out a ticket, and then you can win the bag. And in the meantime, I guess, hang out, have some champagne. You heard the pop earlier.
Yeah,
so you
have
know
some
that the
champagne,
party's on.
mingle.
Is there a question? Oh,
Okay.
Is there another question?
no, that.
Rip the ticket in half and put half in the bowl, is what I'm being told. And then we'll raffle that off. Have some champagne. Make sure to check out their podcast. You do an episode every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Check out Licorice Pizza's Instagram for other cool events. Thank you for coming. This has been a blast. I honestly, AF, had a great time.
We obviously need to do a disclaimer here, so we want you to know we are not doctors or experts by any stretch of the imagination. We are just a couple of gals that are looking for magical products, procedures, and experiences. And in our quest, we will share our honest as fuck opinions with you. So please make sure before you try anything we talk about that you know your own restrictions and do so at your own risk. Do not blame us for any of your issues. We're just experimenting too.